Hey, this is Chris Spiker. Next guest, my classmate from high school, Renate Poe.
Hello, Chris.
You look marvelous.
Thank you, Chris. I got fixed up just for the reunion.
Yeah. And then I told you we're shooting video today, and
Yep.
And here we are.
Dressed in red and black, go Antelopes.
School colors.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about a reunion? I mean, you come back.
You know what? I'm like Dave. I
Yeah.
haven't missed one. I think it's really important. I think it's fun. It's great to see people. You know, the 10-year, nobody's changed a lot. 20 years, you see some wonderful changes. 30, 40, and here we are at our 50th.
Here we are.
Here we are,
Time,
alive and well.
time marches on. Yeah, but it's easy for you, Renate, because you're so cheerful.
Ah.
Is that what people say?
Yes.
Here come the, you know, they have to like changes in life, and you know, maybe it didn't go the way they wanted, and they've got stuff going on. A lot of life issues, and you just kind of charge ahead.
Well, you know, I think you have to, because you know what's the alternative?
Stay home, sit on the couch.
No. I just think, especially at our age, I think this is the time in our life where you know we're at the last quarter of our life. Oh, we're further along that. I think now's the time to appreciate. I think I appreciate life more, appreciate things more, appreciate family and friends more, and it's important to get out.
Family.
Family.
You have a granddaughter with a birthday today.
Oh, I want to shout out to my daughter, my granddaughter, Alyssa Kelly. She's 23 today.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
All proud.
I know. I see her all the time on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And what is she doing? Is she like, what's she doing for a living these days?
Well, she's a very talented young lady. Started playing piano when she was about 3 or 4 years old, and apparently had some talent that she didn't even know she had. She was fresh out of college, graduated early in December, and right out of college, before she graduated from college, I'm sure most of you people have heard of the TV show called The Voice. And she was an intern, got a paid internship in the summer, and then just about 2 or 3 months ago, they hired her and she's in sound editing for The Voice. So it's pretty.
Wait a minute, they're giving her money?
They're giving her money,
boy.
full-time job. Yeah.
I guess that's
yeah.
the definition of a job, right?
That's right. That's right. But the amazing thing is, it's fresh out of college, and you get a gig like with The Voice.
Yeah.
So I'm thrilled for her because. You know, I'm sure The Voice will probably be picked up again for another season,
right.
But I'm sure no matter what happens, to get her foot in the door with something, with a high-end nationwide show like that is pretty amazing, and she's learning from, you know, the people that really know what they're doing. So I'm thrilled for her.
And I would think sometimes we're going to have people listening to the show. How did she get a foot in the door besides being right place, right time? Great looking, talented, smart.
All those things, and I think her connection was, and you know, in the show business or whatever, it truly is if somebody knows somebody, and I believe she had one of her cousin's friends knew somebody that worked there and said, I know this young lady who's da-da, and that's how she got the interview. So it's even tough to even get an interview with something like that.
You know, a smart man told me one time, you need to collect friends.
Yes.
You need to
And
always
here we
be
are.
thinking, and here we are, yes.
50 years later.
How did you end up in the Antelope Valley? What brought you here? I mean, not today.
Yeah, not today.
I saw the Cadillac out there. But
my mom and dad and my brother and I immigrated from Germany in 1957. We came to the States in 1957 and actually ended up in Lancaster. My dad worked for Endress Motors at the time. I don't know, some of the old folks remember Endress Motors on, I think it was Avenue J. It's either J or Avenue I. Avenue I. Avenue I.
Trevor
so,
or...
Yeah, so we immigrated, and we never went home.
Oh, but you have visited.
Yes, just 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was really great. It was really great. But yeah, forever thankful that my parents had the determination and took the risk and took the chance and came to the United States. I'm forever grateful for that.
You celebrate that a lot.
I do.
Yes.
I do. I really appreciate, I mean, home is home, but you have your homeland and then you have your home. But, you know, I've lived here now for 61 years, so across the United States.
Well, one of the things you will love about the reunion is we're going to play the national anthem, as we should.
As we
And we're
should.
going to honor our veterans, both the ones that are with us
Yep.
and the ones that are no longer with us.
And the friends that we lost in the Vietnam War, and absolutely, that's great. That's great that we're doing that.
Yeah.
You set that up, I'm sure.
I think it's about time. You know, that was an awkward time, 1968,
It
the
was.
60s. You know, we had a lot going on, or
Yeah.
maybe we didn't, I don't know, but we were just, I think we were ill-prepared for a lot of that, maybe embarrassed by some of it.
Yeah, it was a difficult time, you know. It was a difficult time for everybody, but the sad part is of how we were actually involved, because you know, we all know some of the guys that we lost, you know, a couple of years ahead of us in school and in our class, and that was a scary time. Scary time.
Scary time.
Mm-hmm.
So what was high school like for you? I just remember you walked across somewhere, and you were probably walking from the east side, from Paiute.
Yeah.
And I saw you, and I go, that's Renate, and that's like my memory. You're probably wearing a cheerleader outfit or something.
I probably was.
So-
I went to Paiute Elementary,
Yeah.
and Bonnie Brownlow's been she's coming in for the reunion, and her and I at Paiute, I think both 7th and 8th grade, we were cheerleaders. And then when we went to Antelope Valley High School, I always wanted to do that again. But, you know, in high school things are bigger and more competition, and the girls are more talented or cuter, or, you know, it was high school, but I loved it. And I remember thinking, oh gosh, I'd love to try out for song leader, and I did. And
you got it.
I did, and it was really fun. And as you know, I saved my song leading outfits for all these years.
And you've brought them along.
And I brought them, and your lovely wife is gonna decorate with my song leading outfits.
All of that important material the Smithsonian has been waiting for.
I'm sure. And it was so funny, you know, in 67, 68, I think our outfits were about down to our knees.
Yeah.
And you, Chris, I don't know if your
yeah.
radio land knows this,
Mm.
but you were our assembly manager for all these, and you put on, I'll never forget, you put on the best assemblies. We
Oh,
had
really?
the best, really good, and we did get in trouble a couple times as song leaders. We did some little routines that were a little bit risque.
I had no knowledge of that. I must have missed that meeting.
Yeah.
'Cause I
So
definitely
we were reprimanded. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
little bit too
you
sexy of a
should be.
move.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead and finish the routine, but don't do it again.
don't do it again. Don't do that one again.
So that's
Please,
kind of, I'm still the assembly manager, right?
Yes, you are.
We've had a lot of
I
help.
thought about that. I mean, you still are sort of. I think we are who we are, and
Right.
you're still who you are.
Yeah.
That same type of, you know, personality. You know, you're still the assembly manager. You're helping. You're participating. You're doing things, and I'm still cheering people on.
You know, but I'm going to bring it back to you
Okay.
because we're the Lancaster Chamber. You know, we were members, and when you were here and you had a business, I want to talk about marketing, but I also want to talk about how you ran your business and what you taught me.
Oh,
Yeah, it
well,
was professional.
I didn't know
it
I
was,
taught you
Oh yeah,
anything.
I
I
mean,
did?
it was. You were very organized.
Okay.
And you always thought in advance, and you guys love flowers, and so that was wonderful.
That too. But, you know, as a matter of fact, I think we kind of learned from each other, and you know, I did. My husband at the time was a local orthodontist, Dr. Snow, and you know, worked with him during our marriage for a very long time. And the thing is, it's funny that you said about the flowers, because you being with Antelope Valley Florist, I also brought that along. I always thought how important it was. Something as simple as at our receptionist desk to have
Right.
fresh flowers
Yeah.
every day.
Right.
And I carried that on to when I moved down to Orange County, and I worked for another orthodontist for 20 years, just retired in January. And same thing, I made it a point that people love that. And
Yeah.
I think you want to give your patients, your clients, whatever. I think there's something about having some fresh flowers there, you know, just small touches, something that makes people feel good.
I think we got a 2-minute commercial right there, don't you? That was pretty cool.
And get your flowers at Antelope Valley
You know,
Florist.
so what works in the desert Works at the beach.
Works at the beach. Nothing like fresh flowers, Chris.
You did a lot of marketing, a lot of
Did.
very clever stuff, always thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That is, you know, people need to go to school and
You know,
learn from other
yeah,
people.
You know what, I didn't have any background in marketing, but I think if common sense is, I think, a lot. And my philosophy is that I always try to give your customer or your patient or your client or whatever more than they may expect from you. No matter how well you do that, and also as far as like referring sources, food always works. I mean, I always made sure that the refers to our practice always. I always would go there with muffins or with cookies or
Where does
or
all that
with the
food go? There'd be
patients.
like 3 women working in the
Oh
office.
no,
And the cookies come in and
your wife's a dentist. She'll tell you. We eat anything that
cupcakes,
comes through the door.
cakes. She said, "Oh, we got a pie today."
I
said-
know. That's
And
right.
you couldn't bring Chris a slice of pie.
No,
It's like,
it's all gone.
"Oh, we ate
It's
it all. They
gone.
took it home."
Yeah.
Okay.
But people appreciate, and I think that's the key in marketing, is you want to always go that extra step. You know, it may not mean a lot, and you think it's not being a lot. You know, I think you just learn that just by being, you know, a good person and treating people nice, and it comes back. You know, stuff like that, it comes back, and I think makes you successful. It's made you successful.
Long-term relationships.
Yes.
Not in it for the money,
Nope.
just make
Mhm.
people happy, be safe, support the community.
Support the community, absolutely.
Renate Poe, thank you
Yes.
for coming up and coming to the reunion, and we'll see you over there.
Okay, party.